They're called Vermeer Mini Skid Steers for their compact size, but perhaps they should be called Vermeer Many Skid Steers for the many jobs they can perform. Need one machine that can do many things? Then allow me to connect the dots. Scoop and score with a bucket full of productivity. Grab limbs, trees, and opportunities with a grapple that's ready for all these things. Stick, lift, and move loads with forks that get under it and rise above the rest. Make something memorable with a Harley rake that brings smoothness to rough landscaping jobs. Take full control with an auger that's the whole 9 yards and so much more when it's time to plant trees. And cut to the chase with a trencher that puts it all on the line. One Vermeer Mini Skid Steer can do so many things for tree care and landscaping companies. Hook yours up today.
Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever the case may be. This is Marty Grunder from Grunder Landscaping Company and the Grow Group, and we are in our shop here at Grunder Landscaping Company, Southwest Ohio, and I am with the talented Bill Roselle, who's our Fleet and Facilities Manager. And Bill, today we wanted to talk to you on this video for landscape management about the decision-making process that we go through in buying equipment. And so there's a couple angles I want to ask you about. First and foremost, innovation. So buying equipment that's going to help us save money, replace labor. How do you get those ideas? What's the decision-making process that you go through in considering a piece of equipment that might make us more efficient, something new?
Well, one thing we look at is we look at the past, what's been successful.
Okay.
And then we look at ways that we're moving forward and how we can improve. For instance, we have some Isuzus that we brought in last year that we very
different, whole different truck setup for us,
yes,
right?
Yes, it worked out many ways for us. However, moving forward, we need some growth. So we're bringing in now crew cab Isuzus to offset that and help us be more efficient in the field.
Larger properties where we need more people.
Yes,
I know I saw a brush cutting piece of equipment that goes on the front of our John Deere skid steers. Why did we buy that brush cutting piece of equipment? What was the decision-making process that went into that?
Well, that came about by talking to our group leaders.
Okay.
And seeing some of the jobs we were bringing in late in the year where we were constantly renting one.
Okay.
So it got to the point where we looked at the future, we saw some jobs that we needed it, and it just made more sense to buy it.
All right, so it was like there's a financial analysis. So it's not just, hey, it's a nice piece of equipment, let's go get it. It's got to make money, right?
Exactly.
Because there's two guys here probably yell at you if it doesn't make money. The first one's Seth, and the second one's me. Seth's our president. Behind us are some Vermeer Mini Skid Steers. We have a new Kenworth truck with a brand new EV bed on it.
Yes.
Give us a little bit other insight into equipment, replacing it, the lead time. I know it's not easy getting equipment. Like it takes lead time, right?
Yes, it does. It's no longer can you make a phone call and it be here next week.
Right.
So for instance, last month we started our 2025 plan. So I'm already contacting vendors, finding out when their production time is. That way it guides us into when we need to place orders.
Right, because we're just finding that to grow a company, which we've almost tripled the size of the business in the last 3 years, it requires people, it requires equipment. There's a lot of thought that goes in it. You can't just all of a sudden sell all this work and then go buy more Vermeer Mini Skid Steers or get a truck set up like this, or one of our Isuzu maintenance trucks. There's a lot of planning that goes into that.
There's a lot of planning and a lot of different vendors that we have to deal with.
What's the biggest mistake you think guys and gals that own landscaping companies should try to avoid in terms of the fleet? What's something you've learned from that?
There's always a difference between a need and a want.
Okay, good.
Everybody wants something new. Everybody wants
That's
the new
true.
thing.
That's so true.
But not always is it needed.
Yeah.
You know, it might be needed for a certain project, but it's not going to get any value after that project.
So maybe rent that. And so
Yes.
what I'm hearing you say is sitting down with your team. I think you just finished a meeting that was about the fleet and so forth.
Yes,
right?
we did. Yes,
Okay,
we did.
so there's a weekly meeting on that?
We meet weekly on that, and then we also have monthly projections, and then we also, so for instance, in July, we're working on 2026, 2027, 2028 fleet.
My gosh, really?
So,
Okay,
yes.
And it's probably good I'm not in that meeting. I wouldn't be of any help. Folks, I guess the bottom line is, Bill, thank you so much. The bottom line is there's a lot that goes into even planning your fleet. You're not going to get a specialized truck like this. It's hard to get a Vermeer Mini Skid Steer, all these other things if you're not planning. We've got a mantra here that we talk about all the time. You've heard me say it in the Grow Group. All planning is good. I hope in a small way we helped you today. Have a great day. Thanks, Bill.
Thank you.